Hi friends, happy day 3 of our 12 days of Christmas. My name is Taryn and I am the founder and principal planner with Taryn Wyant, Event Planning and Design. I am so happy that you found yourself over here to our little mini series that we're doing this year. This is a mini series that is specifically intended for our newly engaged couples this season. So we know it's proposal season. It's a time of so much joy and fun and excitement. However, being in the wedding industry, I've been in the industry for nearly 13 years now. I also know that this can be a time that feels a little bit overwhelming for some couples, especially those that are considering possibly hosting a destination wedding around the world. So we have curated this series to answer some pretty commonly asked questions, at least questions that we are oftentimes asked regarding our destination wedding planning process, with the hope that this will bring some peace, some assuredness, and hopefully some well-earned excitement as you begin to approach your wedding planning process. So today on day 3, we are addressing a question that we get with almost every single inquiring couple of ours. And that question is, how do we achieve the curation of a truly personalized event design? So for those of you that don't know, TSWED is both a wedding planning firm and a design house. We partner with our creative director, Danielle Sabag, who is a magic maker, the absolute bee's knees. For any of our former clients that are joining us today, you know that she is the best of the best. And so we really pride ourselves on creating event experiences for our couples that are super authentic and true to who they are. One of the best compliments that we can possibly get on a wedding week, and obviously specifically on a wedding day, is when a guest or a family member approaches us and says, "Oh my goodness, if I could have taken this couple and translated them into an event experience, this would be it." That's our goal. We love that. That person gets anything they want for the rest of the day because they have provided us with the highest accolade we could possibly dream of. So how do we do this? How do we make it so personal? How do we make it so that our events so authentically reflect our couples? The first thing that we do is we deep dive into a really in-depth and intentional discovery process with our couples. What does this mean? This means that we are going to have conversations with our couples at the very beginning of the planning process. Just as soon as the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed in the paperwork, we are going to hop on a call, hop on a Zoom, and get to know them. And now we want to know things like, what colors do you love? What textures do you love? What aesthetic makes you happy? Do you like bold and bright? Do you like light and airy? We want to know these things. These are pretty standard things that most wedding planners are going to inquire of their couples. So yes, that is a part of it. However, the bigger part, the way more important part to us, is basically becoming your friend. We want to know all about you. We want to know how you met, where you went on your first date, how did he or she propose, what flowers do you hate the smell of, what's your favorite lip stain, what's your favorite brand of bourbon, what wine do you love. We want to know all the things. We want to know what pets you like. We want to know what is culturally significant to you and your family. What is your relationship like with your parents? We want to know these things because it is only through truly and personally knowing our couples that we're able to then bring the fullness of who they are to life in the scope of a wedding week, in the scope of events. And so we do that. We get personal. We, low-key stalk you on the Instagram. We definitely want all your Pinterest pages and all that good stuff. We're going to share all of our stuff with you as well. But the most important thing is that we want to become your friend, and we kind of want to speed date it out. And figure out how to be your friend quickly and intentionally so that we can begin designing this really personal experience for you and your family members and your friends. Once we do that, we then start developing your vision. And this is where our sensational creative director, Danny, comes in. She'll start crafting a storyboard for your wedding week. This is based on so many different factors. First and foremost, it's based on our discovery call. It's based on what we have learned about you and about your likes and your dislikes, your priorities, all of that good stuff, all of that. That's number one. Number two is, of course, it's based on the vision that you've communicated to us. It's based on, I hate the color red, so don't put any red in there, but I'm absolutely obsessed with lavender, lilac, and ivory. Fantastic. So that's going to go into it as well. It's going to be based on what we, again, low-key stalk you about. So it's going to be based on your Pinterest. It's going to be based on your Instagram. It's going to be based on your profile pictures. Just us learning about your aesthetic and the things that are important to you, the things that you want to show other people publicly, that goes into it. Of course, it's not going to be a real storyboard unless we also consider your investment point. We're not going to pitch you a 7-figure wedding if you don't have a 7-figure budget. And so we're going to consider the level of investment that you're interested in when we put this all together. We're also going to consider your venue and your location. This is so important. You'll hear me talk about this if you listen to the last mini-series about the importance of cultural nuance. We want to know about your cultural traditions, the things that are important for you to incorporate for either yourselves or your family members. We also want to consider the cultural traditions of the location in which we find ourselves for your wedding. So are we in Italy? Great. We have to have pasta. Pasta has to be there, probably pizza too. So little things like that we want to consider as we're pulling for your storyboard. So again, it is very tailored. You will never see a cookie cutter wedding coming from TSWED. In fact, if and when an inquiring couple comes to us and says, hi, here's a link from this publication and we want you to recreate that wedding for us, I don't care if it's a 7-figure wedding. We won't do it. We just won't. It's not authentic to who you are. It doesn't allow us the opportunity to utilize our creative process and our cultural sensitivities in a way that we're branded for and in a way that's super important to us as people and planners. And so we might say, oh gosh, that is gorgeous. And we will take that along with all the other stuff, along with the discovery call information, along with the investment price point, the venue, the location considerations, all of these things. And we will pull elements of it, but your wedding, if you're going with TSWED, is going to be you. It is going to be you as a couple translated into an event. And that means that it's not going to be someone else's. And so that's really important to us and a big part of how we approach that personalization of an event itself. Of course, we then look to our vendors. We are so fortunate. We partner with some of the best vendors in the world. Gosh, what a rich community of wedding industry partners there is. It's such a beautiful industry to be a part of. And the level of talent and creative genius that exists there is tremendous. So for instance, if we finalize our storyboard with you and send it on over to the floral designer that we think is the right fit and say, hi, can we please have a curated proposal based on this storyboard? 9 times out of 10, our creative partners are going to go, yes, and you may not have known this about the Italian culture, but this specific flower or this specific vessel is so authentic to that culture. And so that's what I've pitched in this proposal. You're going to see this. I'm having these made for this wedding based on your storyboard. Chef's kiss. What more could we ask for than partners that see our vision, know our priorities, value our clients equally to the way that we value our clients, and then go the extra mile. Again, they're not cookie cutter vendors either. They don't just take the storyboard and go, great, I'll recreate everything that's here. No, they then go, oh, wonderful. We are going to do our own research and take our own know-how and recommend these things to make it even more personal and customized for your clients. Oh, part of why it's so important to find a planner that really knows, loves, and invests in you personally is because she's also going to value, she or he is also going to value industry partners that have that too, that have that same value of you as well. So really, you, even though you're connecting one-on-one almost exclusively with your planner, if you're working with TSWED, we're building an entire team around you to curate and craft this perfect reflection of who you are as a couple. So that's super important as well. Partnering with the right vendors and making sure that you trust your planner enough to find the right vendors that are going to uphold that vision and that personality for your wedding week. Finally, we are going to produce with seamless elegance a gorgeous affair for you. And that's all going to be based on the personal experience that we want you to have. A big part of that is that you don't have to worry. You are in Italy, you're there, you're eating the bread, you're drinking the wine, you're welcoming the guests. You don't have to think about anything pertaining to the event or the events, except for when and where you need to show up based on the timeline. Once you get there, we will hand you your Aperol Spritz and say, have the best time ever. We'll come and get you when it's time for our speech. We'll come and get you when it's time for the cake cutting. You don't have to worry. You get to sit back, relax, enjoy your guests, enjoy your moment, and know that TSWED has you covered so that you're creating these new and lasting memories with the people that matter most without any stress at all. So that is how we strive at TSWED to really curate a personal, effortless, and meaningful design and experience for our clients.